Hey everybody, Rose Matter here. Welcome to my reaction and discussion for episode 6 of Frieren. Last episode, very exciting. We finally have a new party member, Stark, who was an apprentice of Eisen. He seems to be a fighter, and he is living in a village protecting the villagers there. They hold him in great regard because he helped save them from a dragon attack. The same dragon that I believe the reason why Fern wants to take on this dragon was because there's like a grimoire or like some sort of magic book that she wants. But obviously the two of them are unable to, fight the dragon together. So they need a like powerful fighter. So they go to see Stark because Frieren has heard about him from Eisen, and he spoke highly of Stark. It turns out that Stark is actually terrified of the dragon, and it was just kind of a coincidence that the dragon flew away. So he is too afraid, but Frieren seems to have a lot of faith in him, probably because Eisen spoke highly of him. Fern, not so much. Fern seems to be hesitant to get Stark on their team. But at the end, it turns out that there was like a giant crack in this huge, like, rock wall, and that he was the one who did it. So he does have some capabilities as a fighter, but he just is afraid. So I'm guessing he's going to have to get over that fear of fighting. And that's, I'm guessing what this episode is going to be is about them fighting the dragon, and then he's going to have to overcome his fear. But I love him already. In the little time that I saw him, he definitely seems like he's going to be the comedic character. Not that Frieren and Fern aren't funny in their own ways, but he has a very outgoing personality. He seems a very kind-hearted person. So I'm excited to see more of Stark, and just happy to have someone along on the journey to make it, 3 people. So really excited to get into this episode, see more of Stark and his interactions with Fern and Frieren, and they'll take on the dragon, I'm assuming, this episode. So yeah, let's go ahead and watch the episode, and I'll give you guys my thoughts afterwards. Okay, so this is continuing on right where we left off in the last episode. The hero of the village. So the other thing too I forgot to mention with Stark is apparently like he ran off while he was training with Eisen, and he hasn't been able to face him since. So maybe he also wants to prove himself to Eisen. Yeah, he seems to be like a very honorable person, but he also feels like maybe guilty. Like what's the word I'm thinking of? He feels like he's a fraud. Interesting though, yeah, it's like usually fighters, they just go in and they don't think about that. But it's like he's bound by duty, but he does have like a legitimate fear, a realistic fear. Maybe I'd actually run away. I bet I bet in that moment when he has to fight the dragon, he's gonna prove to himself that he can be brave and that he won't run away. That's right. Okay, okay, here we go. Eisen and him. Yeah, he's gonna want to prove himself to Eisen, be like, I. And yet Eisen seemed to speak well of him to Frieren, said to seek him out if he ever needs help. Oh, I definitely see a romance between these two. I could see these two getting together, just like with Frieren and. Here we go. They're like bonding over their experiences of being afraid. Oh, okay. So we didn't see this, did we? There we go. She's speaking to him kind of harshly, but also truthfully. Like I was saying, between like there seems to be a romance or something between Frieren and Himmel, and I could see that repeating itself maybe with Fern and Stark, which I down with that idea. I think already that they'd be very cute. There I am going ahead and grouping just because there's a guy and a girl together. I assume they're going to be a couple. Fern certainly come a long way very quickly about before she was like, just leave him behind. He's not, he's basically useless to us. Fern's like, God damn it. Just like, here I was giving him all of these positive words. Look at her. Yeah, Fern was like, I believed in him, and that's why she didn't want to leave. He's like, because they feed me. For her, that's nothing. Yeah, right? It's not very long. For her, that's like, what, maybe a week? A couple of days? But yeah, it's nice to see a character who's like a fighter in these kinds of things actually be afraid and show their fear. Oh, Ison, okay. So he actually had some fear too. I like this. I like that they show the vulnerabilities of the fighters. Usually when they have these types of shows, there's no hesitation. What is it? What is it that phrase that they say is like courage isn't the absence of fear, it's doing the right thing despite your fear. Something like that. All right, let's go Stark. What I like about this show is okay, no wonder it stopped. Okay. So it's like the dragon knows that he's a capable fighter. He parted in anger. Oh, so they left on bad terms and they both probably want to, you know, I was afraid of him. Interesting. Like maybe they want to get together on like good terms before Ison dies. That'd be nice. And that's why Freerun had such faith in him. Like I was saying, I like the fact that this show doesn't waste any time. Uh, Normally there would probably be like a 20-minute lead up to him training or like, whatever. But it's like, no, within the first less than 10 minutes in, we're having the big fight with the dragon. And I love it's got that kind of, I wouldn't say it's Celtic music, but that very like, I don't know, like D&D style music. I guess maybe Celtic music a little bit. It's kind of like I like it. I like this type of music. It definitely gives me like D&D vibes. Oh, is she gonna be like, you gotta do it? Oh shit, she's gonna be like, I trust you. You can do this on your own. I love this. And this is why I love Stark. It's already dead. Oh shit. An old hag, huh? Wow, awesome. So yeah, like that, normally that fight would be the big lead up in this episode, but like he's already killed it. He doesn't seem very proud. Maybe he's upset that he didn't do it sooner. She's like, also, don't call me an old hag again. She is like, what are those birds, like magpies? Like anything kind of like shiny and like little treasures. She's just like, yes, yes, this is all I want in life and I'm happy. She's like a little hoarder. But yes, I hope that's going to be Stark's thing at the end, is like him and Ison can reunite and apologize to each other and find their peace before he dies. She's literally making like a snow cone, essentially. So I bet that'll be Stark will be like, I'm going to come with you. I want to go on this ridiculous journey with you now that the dragon's defeated. Because that's probably why he stayed. He didn't feel like he could leave. Yep, there we go. Aw. Oh, oh my god. Now Fern's like, she's lost all interest if there was any in Stark. She's like, well, never mind. That's amazing. Yeah, exactly. That's what I said. I'm like, he wants to go on a ridiculous journey. It sounds like fun. Maybe he feels like he's got some more growing up to do before he can go face Eisen. All right, now it's 28 years later. They'll have to defeat the monsters if they want to get through the checkpoint, obviously. Or maybe they'll sneak through some sort of invisibility spell. She just really marches to the beat of her own drum, doesn't she? Hey, let's get the two of them together. Also, they walk next to each other. Oh, I definitely ship these two. Oh. Oh. No, 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 no. She's just a little rough to him, but I'm like, but maybe she saw something there where she's like, small. And she's like, I'm not interested anymore. Interesting that she's like so cold to him, though. 2 years, shit. For Frieren, probably she's like, oh, that's no time at all. I mean, she thought 3 years was nothing. Oh, that looks so good. I've said it before, anime food looks so good all the time. And now he's so, like, withered and small in comparison. Fern's like, it's not the only thing that's small, but why is she always giving him that look? Maybe she doesn't realize that she is looking at him that way. So she's like, we gotta go defeat the monsters so that we could, we can get past that checkpoint. Meanwhile, yeah, Fern would probably, or Freerun would probably just be happy to stay here for 2 years and just practice magic. Ah, so the two of them gonna go off alone to take care of things while Freerun's here? Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how this goes. I like this. I like that they've got that good-natured ribbing between the two of them already. Okay. All right. So I love he's just using that scar to be like, look at how tough I am. I'm so tough. Maybe she's just not used to someone getting, going along with her plans as easily. Oh, don't have a lot of time. Probably to do with Ison, I bet. Yeah, I bet that's what it is. He wants to get back to him, especially if you know, this is going to take 10 years to get there and then 10 years back. Aw. That's cute. That's like even when he was little, he was still taller than Ison. And yet he still said that Ison looked so big to him. That's really sweet. I love it, just like the mentor apprentice, just like with Fern and Freeren. Really cute. Right? Yeah. Yeah, that's it. He wants to get back to him. Maybe he's like, I want to tell him about my adventures, my ridiculous adventures. Yes, exactly. Exactly. Please, I need him to get back to him before he dies. But even so, there basically is like the heaven that he could probably speak with him. This is really sweet, damn it. It's just crazy, like usually with the show it feels like they do the big grandiose thing first and then it just kind of goes into something a little bit more like chill. Like he fought the dragon and now we're just kind of going along on their little low stakes adventure. What did you do, Frieren? You did something to make the guard go after you. Leave her alone for a little while. Oh. Oh, I bet she's come by here before. She's like famous to them. She's like, I don't really want to leave, actually. She's like, this seems like too much work for me. I don't want to deal with this. It's it's like usually with like RPG characters or whatever, like they intentionally go in and are like, I want to go in and do this quest and help people. Where it's like Freeren's trying to like avoid doing that. She's like, I just want to study my magic and just chill, but I'm being forced forced to do these things. Exactly. We knew that Himmel and the rest of the group were all about this. Oh, I love that. It's just the whole thing's like we have to get through this checkpoint, and then very easily got through the checkpoint. All right, that's the end of the episode. Okay, it just ends on like such a low key ending. All right, that's the episode. All right, that one was really cute. I like that. I Stark had his hero moments. That was awesome. Uh, I'm shipping Fern and or yeah, Fern and Stark. I love those two together. I love a kind of thing where it's like I wouldn't say they're like enemies to lovers, but it's more like she was a little doubting of him and she was cold to him, and she is still a little cold at first, but she sees the potential in him, is warming up to him, but also is not afraid to, to rib him a bit. He's not afraid to rib them back, and it's about what I expected, and I love it. I love the interactions between it's like Fern and Frieren are awesome, but having an extra person, it just adds a little bit of spice to it, adds a little something to the dynamic, and I love it. So yeah, the fight was awesome, and I've said they don't waste their time with this. They're not afraid to take their time, slow things down a bit, like with the second part of it, but at the same time, it speeds along, it moves along quick enough that you're not really, focusing on one thing for too long. Like the whole thing about crossing the checkpoint could have been a whole episode on its own. The fighting the dragon could have been a whole episode on its own. But it's given it the time to, let us have the important information, have the emotional moments, have the funny moments. But it's not, I don't know, it's very the antithesis of a lot of longer anime, it feels like, and that's why I like these shorter anime. It's because there's not a lot of fluff, not a lot of filler. It does what it needs to do, and then it moves on. So I like that. So I'm just liking Stark more and more. We're seeing more of his character. I loved that backstory with Aizen. We can see why Aizen was maybe a little bit harsh to him. The whole thing about saying, like, I was afraid of him in that moment and I reacted without thinking. He has the capability of being a great fighter, one of the greatest fighters. And just seeing that, how proud he was of him, and maybe he was a little bit harsh, but Stark took it differently to think that, like, Aizen was angry at him or disappointed in him. And I just love that. I love the whole mentor apprentice thing, like with Aizen and Stark, with Frieren and Frieren, and you can kind of see the connections there. Just I can't wait to see more of them, and I hope I'm right about Frieren and Stark. I want them together so bad. It's been a while since I've like wanted to ship some characters. Same with Frieren and Himmel to an extent. Maybe it's just kind of like it's repeating itself, like history repeating itself with this group, where you've got the two characters that bond. Although it seems like with Frieren and Himmel, I don't know if anything happened between them. Maybe it was just longing feelings that never came to fruition. They never did anything with them, and maybe there's some regret there with Frieren, where it's she had feelings for him, but she never told him how she felt or acted on them. I don't know, but I thought that was a great episode, and I am excited to see more. It seems like they're now kind of officially on their adventure together, the three of them, and I can't wait to see more. So I hope you guys like my reaction to this episode. I can't wait to see more of them together. So stay tuned for episode 7 next week. Until then, bye guys.